The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered! You covered 12! Covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
What's up, boys and girls? How are you? Welcome into a Tuesday morning or afternoon, wherever you are here, Bostonian versus the book. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow us on our Instagram, Twitter. Well, my Instagram, at Sports Talk Matt. Instagram is not up yet for BVB, but maybe one day it will be. It is for Twitter X at Boston versus the book. That's our YouTube channel as well. It's where you guys can go and watch the video on replay anytime you want, but we are replayed on national TV. Our friends at Sports Grid play us at night, and well, SiriusXM, you guys are listening in as well. Thank you for being here on the program today. At some point, my little sister is going to jump in here. I don't know when, probably sometime in the next 30 minutes, maybe a bit longer. She is currently at the nail salon getting her mani-pedi on for her wedding on Friday. So we're going to talk to my sister Maggie at some point during the show today to get an update as to how things are going for her on the week of the wedding and what Friday will be, because it is going to be one of the hottest days of the summer on Friday, and we have an outdoor wedding. And yes, I'm in a tuxedo. This is going to be a fun day, but it will be it's going to be fun regardless. It's my sister's wedding, so we're gonna throw down and have a lot of fun. So looking forward. We've not brought Maggie on BVB. I'm not sure Maggie has ever been on BVB. I was thinking the other day, I was like, I don't know if I've ever brought Maggie onto the Bostonian versus the book. So this could be history today to bring my 26-year-old sister on. So be nice, everybody, on having that conversation. So looking forward to talking with her in a little bit. We're going to talk some baseball today. We're going to talk a little football. The team of the day is Clemson. We've got some news of the industry to get to on the program today. But as we do to start every program, we kick it off with the opening line. All right, opening line. Should be the opening 9, I guess, for baseball. Opening line, baseball, man. The reason why we love baseball is the history. Now, if you are a purist, if you are a long-standing baseball fan, you're going to get what I mean by that when I tell you, when I say that we love baseball because of the history. It's because the game has been played for well over 100 years in America, and we've got generations that we can trace back in our own families. I mean, here in New England, you've got great-grandfathers and great-great-grandfathers that went to Fenway Park, that went to watch the Red Sox, or when they were the Boston Braves even, way back when, and how the Red Stockings even, right? We've all got our lineage. And then baseball grew and expanded and made its way out west, but as the game grew, the history remained. We're still playing baseball in the relatively same way that we've played since the 1800s. So whenever we have something that happens for the first time, it is interesting, or the second time ever, or we've got somebody setting a major league record, or we've got something that we haven't seen for 50 or 60 years. It's always really crazy. And it all happened last night. I don't know if you guys realize what happened last night, but we had history all over the place last night. Let's start with the Red Sox and the Phillies, because I've never seen this before. Now, I hate the Ghost Runner. You guys know this. I think it's a joke. But the Red Sox had a moment last night in which they did not score in the top of the 10th. They came to the bottom of the 10th. Second and third, they intentionally walked a batter to load the bases, trying to induce either double play or something to get out of the inning to make this thing go to the 11th. Instead, you had only the second time in Major League Baseball history we had a catcher's interference call go against the Red Sox. The Phillies are the first team to win a game on a walk-off catcher interference, and that's the play. It was a check swing. It wasn't even a swing. It was a check swing on top of everything else. It wasn't even a real swing. Catcher's interference. It tapped, and I mean it tapped the catcher's glove for the Red Sox. First time since the Dodgers beat the Reds on August the 1st, 1971. Second time ever. Second time ever. Do you know how many games we've played in Major League Baseball? We've played 242,212 games. 242,212 times we have played Major League Baseball games. And that's the second time it's ever happened. Every time you go to the ballpark, you have a chance to witness something just like this. Every time you go to the ballpark, history could be made. We never know what we're going to see in a Major League Baseball game. Every single time these games begin, something special has the potential to happen. And the Phillies won a game last night. Red Sox now have lost 3 of 4 since the All-Star break. That's not great. But catcher's interference on a check swing, that is something you don't normally have in the rule book. That's something that you're like, hold on a second. Did that actually happen? Yes. That's the first time it happened. It's ridiculous. But that's how the game ended, and the Phillies won. We haven't done this in a while. Not only do we have an opening line stinger to play for you, we have an Ohtani watch. Because it wasn't just the Red Sox with history last night. For Ohtani, he became the first player since 1979 to pitch and give up a home run and hit a home run himself. I mean, these are moments that you go, wow. Dodger star Shohei Ohtani hits a 2-run home run in the bottom of the first after giving up a leadoff home run in the top of the first to the Twins as the Dodgers got back on track and they won 5-2 over the Minnesota Twins. More history for Shohei Ohtani. We're used to that, right? Like, that's just Ohtani. All the time we see history. But it wasn't just Ohtani that happened. Have you ever seen somebody get ruled out after getting hit in the groin with a foul ball? Because that happened last night as well. The umpire in the Cubs game against the Royals, Suzuki, fouled the ball off his junk. The ball went straight down and then went straight up into his man parts. And the guy was trying to walk it off. He was literally in pain. He was trying to readjust himself. And they ruled a delay of game third strike, and he's out because he wasn't in the batter's box. Like, really? While it doesn't say verbatim in the rule book that a player getting hit in the groin should cause time out to allow the player to recover, there is just a level of common sense that needs to take over here for the Major League Baseball umpires. If a guy gets hit in the junk with a foul ball, you can't call him out with strike 3. Like, that's not fair, okay? This game is hard enough. It's a round ball. It's a round bat. Guys are coming up, seeing 100 miles per hour. Every pitcher's throwing gas. And when you foul the ball off and it's a 3-2 count and you're trying to get yourself right because you got hit in a part of your body that really hurts to get a baseball fouled off into, guess what? Don't call him out. Like, don't do that, baseball. Like, that's not fair. I've never seen that before. Anybody else seen that before? Anybody else see a Major League Baseball player get ruled out? Get ruled out because he was trying to adjust himself and recover. Nope, sorry. We've got history tonight. History will be made tonight. I guess tying history will be made tonight. Rich Hill is back. Rich Hill, called up by the Royals. He will be the oldest active player in Major League Baseball, and he will join his 14th team. 14 teams Rich Hill has pitched for. He'll join Edwin Jackson as the only major league players to take the field or to pitch for 14 teams during his Major League Baseball career. Rich Hill is 45. Rich Hill was in high school with me. I'm 48. Rich Hill was in high school in the early 90s, like I was in high school in the early 90s. And this guy is pitching still in Major League Baseball. He just, A, won't give it up, but B, just doesn't want to quit. Just wants to keep on going and keep on playing. Royals need pitching. They're calling him up. He's pitching tonight for the Royals. 45 years old and the record-tying 14th Major League Baseball team for Rich Hill. This is something out of the natural. Just keep on going and keep on going. And finally, one more thing that's pretty wild. And this is, I didn't know this. Did you know that no Major League Baseball player has ever been traded who has hit 35 or more home runs? And Suarez for the Diamondbacks could be the first player ever. He hit number 36 last night. And he is 100% trade bait over the next 2 weeks for the Diamondbacks to trade him. But no player has ever hit 35 or more home runs and been traded by the team that he was playing for. That's unbelievable. That's in all of the steroid era baseball players hitting home runs. No team has ever punted on a batter who had 35 or more home runs. Suarez hit number 36 last night. And by all accounts, he will become the first player ever traded at the deadline with that many home runs. Now, you can argue, should the Diamondbacks be trading a player like that? You could argue, should the Diamondbacks be sellers at all, given the level of talent that they have? But the injury to Burns, the fact that they've lost Corbin Carroll for big chunks of this season already, and they're in arguably the most difficult division in all of baseball, that's going to lead the D-backs to say, you know what, this is just not our year. Let's recalibrate. Let's see what we can get for some of our pieces. And Suarez should bring back an absolute haul. Like, for me, I want Suarez on the Red Sox, and everyone's like, where would you play him? I DH him. Like, I just put him as my DH. And that's, I don't care what he does at third base or not. Bregman's playing third. I don't need a third baseman, but I need a bat. I need a DH who can hit home runs, and this guy's got 36 of them. I need a guy who can knock the ball with the green monster consistently from the right side besides Bregman. So, like, I would love to see Boston be heavily involved, but there are numerous teams. The Yankees are going to be heavily involved. So many players are going to be moved, I think, from a bat perspective. The arms are the question. How many arms get traded at the deadline, and how many big arms get traded at the deadline? Because there are some teams, the Brewers can't lose, like 11 games in a row. Brewers just keep on winning, and they've got great pitching, and they got Mizorowski going tonight. We'll get more to that later in the show, but like, there are teams that are making big noise. You have to think the Cubs are going to be involved in any starting pitcher. The Cubs are going to be in the conversation. The Yankees are going to be in the conversation. The Blue Jays just won 11 straight, more on them in a second, 11 straight home games for Toronto that they have won. They're going to be involved. The Rangers need bats big time. They've got pitching. They got a hit. Scored 7 runs last night against the A's. That game pushed on the over. I had over 9. It pushed, but they're going to be involved in any bat that comes available either. So, like, this is going to be a really interesting trade deadline from both an offensive and defensive perspective. But what teams are getting the most calls? You got to think the Diamondbacks are going to be fielding a ton of calls for Suarez. So, look, we love baseball because literally on any night, we had the second time in 242,000 games for the Red Sox and the Phillies having that happen. Ohtani did something we haven't seen since 1979. Rich Hill is 45 years old and pitching for his 14th team. No player had ever been traded with 35 or more home runs, and that player is going to be traded. And then you get hit in the junk, and the umpire won't give you any time to recover and kicks you out, throws you out, not of the game, but strikes you out because you're not in the box. Gave you a delay, third strike, see you later, go sit down. Baseball's wild. Baseball's absolutely wild It's a fun sport. It's been a really fun year. It's been a really, really fun Major League Baseball season. And look, we're not going to stop talking about it. We'll talk more about it because some big things happened last night. So, continuing with baseball as to what happened last night, the Blue Jays beat the Yankees for their 11th straight home win, and they now lead the American League East by 4 games. I know everyone has been downplaying the Blue Jays and saying, they're not for real. They're not a team to worry about. They're not going to be there at the end. They just keep on winning. And if I'm a Yankee fan, I said this at the deadline. Someone needs to tell me why the Yankees are getting the love that they are getting from the betting public. I see a mediocre baseball team in the Bronx. I see an unbelievable player, and when Stanton's healthy, fine, him too. But I see a team that's incredibly banged up at the top of their rotation. I see a bullpen that can be had any given night. And a team that if Judge is not producing has a very difficult time scoring runs. And if I'm the Yankees, I'm thinking about something bold at the deadline. I'm thinking about something really big at the deadline and moving key players and moving name players if I have to shuffle the deck up because you've committed to Aaron Boone. He's your guy, right? He's the dude that's going to take you back to where you want to get to. So you're not going to make a move with the manager. So your lineup has to change. And right now, they're going in the wrong direction. Since June the 1st, they are in reverse and they are not performing. And they got to play again tonight against Toronto with the Blue Jays having a chance that if they wind up sweeping this series, they could be up by 7 games. I mean, this could be a huge lead at the end of this for Toronto, and they could put a lot of pressure on the Yankees. The Red Sox equally, I mean, they lost last night. As I said, they've lost 3 of 4 since the deadline. The Red Sox won 10 games in a row going into the break, and unfortunately, the break came at a bad time. They're in a very difficult part of their schedule with Cubs, Phillies, and the Dodgers coming up for them. So this is a good time to gain ground and put some distance between yourself and the Red Sox and the Yankees if you're Toronto. I don't buy the Rays, and I don't mean any disrespect to Tampa for that, but their schedule with what's about to happen to them in the month of August, their schedule is unbelievably difficult. And the fact that they're going to play so many games on the road, I just don't buy Tampa. And, Shane Baz got lit up last night for Tampa by the White Sox. I'm just not buying that Tampa is going to have the staying power. So I think it's a 3-team race. And the Red Sox will see what they do at the deadline. But they've been very fortunate to have Garrett Crochet, and they've gotten great starting pitching. I mean, last night, Walker Buehler was great last night. Like, he was great. And that hasn't been the case for the first half of the year, but he has really found it over the last month and a half for the Red Sox, and they've really needed it. Their bullpen's been great. Chapman and Whitlock came in last night, 1 inning apiece, shut down for them. So the Red Sox have got pieces. The Yankees bullpen, not great. It's okay. Starting rotation, I mean, they need Max Fried. That blister, not great. Speaking of dominant pitching, how about Paul Skeens last night? Again, Paul Skeens, dominant, 3-0 win over the Tigers. The big question everyone's going to have, and I think it's right to have this question, as to whether or not Paul Skeens and the Pirates are going to be married long-term. Now, I don't think they trade him now. I think it would be dumb, frankly, to trade Paul Skeens at the deadline. I think if you're going to move Paul Skeens, you would move him in between seasons, in the off season, where you can really drive up the bidding war and you can get a whole boatload of prospects to come back. So I don't think Paul Skeens goes anywhere. But just the fact that we are still talking about Paul Skeens being traded, this is a generational arm that we are not believing that the Pirates are going to invest and build around. Because every time he pitches for the rest of his career, unless he gets hurt, it is must-see TV. It is stop what you're doing and put on whatever channel you can find him on and watch Paul Skeens, because he was tremendous last night. He's been tremendous in almost every start he has had this season for the Pirates. He's been unbelievable. And I just can't wait to see what he does going forward. How much better can he actually get? Because he was tremendous. I mentioned it already. The Brewers stayed hot. They beat the Mariners 6-0. They've won 11 games in a row. If I'm the Cubs, I'm like, can these guys please lose? Like, what is going on with how hot the Brewers are? Their pitching has been the story. Now, I don't think their lineup is just a bunch of guys. Okay, that's a little colloquial. That's, Brewer fans are going to put that on a T-shirt and wear that with pride when their manager said that's what their lineup is. But in a lot of ways, that's not totally a crazy comment. It's a lot of journeyman players. There's a lot of guys out there that are looking for an opportunity to play, to prove what they can do. And sure, they've got certain players, Yelich, obviously, the household name, but there's other guys that you're like, who's on the Brewers? But their pitching is so darn good, and they're throwing the rookie phenom tonight in Mizerovsky. Like, they've got 4 pitchers that you go, okay, hold on a second. Woodruff being back changes everything. And in a short series, even in a 7-game series, playing the Brewers is going to be a pain in the neck. And that's why I said yesterday, but I have that 28-1 ticket on the Brewers to win the World Series, just because I think they have a really good shot of making the National League Championship Series. And they have a really good chance. I mean, up against the Dodgers, that's the team they want to see. They're 6-0 against the Dodgers. Like, they would love to see LA in the postseason. They swept them in Milwaukee, but then they swept them in LA. So, like, if you're a Brewers fan, who are you afraid of? Like, you could say, all right, the Cubs, and just the playoff malaise in general for Milwaukee has not been good. They haven't gotten the breaks. They haven't played well in the postseason. But pitching cures everything. And if you can pitch, I mean, think about it. You can go Woodruff, Peralta, and I'm blanking on their third starter. Sorry, not Mizerovsky. But you can throw 3 starters and then bring the kid in as a spot if you need it. Bring him in a high leverage relieving situation to go close a game out, to go get 6 outs. I mean, that's not bad. Oh, Quintana. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's, I don't know if a Priester. Thank you, JPC. Priester. Yes. I mean, that's where you are. If you are a Brewers fan right now, looking at the playoffs, just get you there. And you got to really like your chances. Now, you got to stay healthy, obviously, but you got to really like your chances as to where you go and how you do this and what direction you wind up going, because I do think this team has the pieces to make it problematic, to make it pretty fun. And I'm really excited. If I'm in Milwaukee, I'm really excited to see what this team is capable of doing. And I know everyone's talking about the Cubs, and we'll talk about Pete Crow Armstrong here in a couple of moments, but the Brewers right now, the story of the season so far this year for me, I think the Milwaukee Brewers are just an absolute ton of fun and a very difficult team to face night in and night out. 11 in a row. Let's talk about them for just the picks. All right, let's get into it. Just the picks. I mean, how are we not betting the Brewers on the money line tonight? I mean, this is just an automatic fire. And until further notice, I think you have absolutely no choice but to go ahead and bet on the Brewers to keep rolling. And look, teams are going to lose. Okay, no one runs through everybody. But from a Milwaukee standpoint, as of right now, up against Seattle, and I know Seattle's really good. Okay, I'll give it to you. Seattle is fighting just along with Milwaukee, and Gilbert's on the mound. But I get a team that's won 11 games in a row with the hottest rookie arm in baseball going up against a Mariners team that really can't hit. Okay, not bad, not bad at all. Take the Brewers money line tonight. Brewers on the money line plus money to win and win their 12th game in a row. It's the kid. It's Mizerovsky. Take it. I don't see why you don't, just given the fact that what they're doing. If they lose, so what? Fine. But they've won 11 straight. And 6-0 win last night. Kind of a rinse and repeat situation with that. All right, we'll pause just the picks for a second because I know she's all frantic and I don't know where actually she is. She's somewhere in Maine going ahead and getting ready for her wedding. This is, I don't know the last time I brought my sister on this show. I'm not sure she's ever been on this show. This is a first to get Maggie on the Bostonian versus the book. Maggie, how are you?
Feeling great. Live from the nail salon.
Is this your first time on the show?
Yeah, because in Vegas it was
Radio.
yeah,
So this is your first time on BBB. That's on me. That's my fault.
my debut.
That shouldn't have happened. I apologize. All right. So how are you on the nerves? How are you on the nerves?
I'm not nervous yet. I'm just excited, but I know I will be nervous.
Okay. So what's your number one stress at the moment for Friday?
Really nothing.
Good. Okay.
I
That's how it
know.
should
I
be.
got. I'll give the backstory here. I was super sick like a week ago, and it was so stressful. Like weddings coming up, I'm so sick. But it turned out to be such a blessing in disguise because after that, I was like, oh, I don't care about the weather or the flowers or the napkins. I just want to be healthy, and like we're here and it's happening. I keep hoping that it'll like go by. Like I want to get to Friday, you know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm trying not to wish these PTO days away because they're precious.
Correct. So you have the whole week off.
Yes, and next week.
Oh, and next week.
Yeah, we'll be in Puerto Rico
I was gonna say, you going to Puerto Rico right after the wedding?
Sunday morning.
Oh my! So you fly?
Yep.
Okay, not right after. So 2 days later. Okay.
Yeah.
So we did Madeline's whole outfit last night. I mean, you're gonna be like, oh my! I was like almost crying. Like it was crazy.
No, does she look so old?
Oh, she looks so old. It's wild to see. The dress is gonna be great. Everything's
Her dress
going
is
to be
gorgeous.
Well, it fits because Amanda has decked her out and she's all blinged out. So it's going to be really fun to watch her. And she's all in. Like, you know, she was fighting about having to wear sandals. She's all in now. She's all in.
Oh, yeah. Thank God.
So she's getting her nails done tomorrow. They're going to get a whole mani-pedi tomorrow. So like Madeline now is all in. So for you, like, do you stare at the weather? Are you like a weather nut over this on Friday? Is it because I thought you'd say my number one concern is the weather on Friday.
The weather is going to be terrible. Once I accepted that, I stopped giving a crap. Like it was, yeah, it's going to be super hot and it's going to rain. Like, could you ask for anything worse? No, we're getting married at a beautiful venue and it's covered and there's fans and it's 20 minutes of people being outside. They'll survive.
Yeah.
Yes, so once we got to that, we definitely, you know, the most annoying part of like, especially weddings, but of anything is like the unsolicited opinions and everyone has something to say. And it's like, we've had like people complaining about the weather already. Like I can promise you that the bride and groom are more worried about the weather than you are. And I can promise you that it's going to be fine.
Our audience is already saying you can't control the weather, just roll with it. Good news, rain doesn't matter. It's all true. It's you know, we'll all dry out, we'll all be fine, and we'll all have fun. Madeline wanting me to ask you, are we having a DJ? And does she get the ability to request songs?
Yes, there'll be QR codes and you can like request on your phone. Yeah.
Look at you. QR codes.
He said he was doing that and I was like, okay, just don't put them on the tables, okay? Like put them on the bar.
QR codes. Oh, Madeline's going to be all in on that. Well, you made her like world when you told her that you went through an MCR phase because Madeline's in the middle of an MCR phase. And so she was all like, oh, wait a minute. So like I can request an MCR song and Auntie Maggie might dance with me at a reception. I said, yes, go request an MCR song and the two guys can go and dance. What do you remember my wedding? Because my memory was, you were young.
I was 14.
Yeah, you were young. You're basically Madeline's age. How much of it do you remember of mine?
I remember all of it. I was like really enthralled with the whole operation. And
because it was 1,000 degrees then, and it can't be hotter than what it was for mine.
We were watching the radar like minute by minute, trying to make the call of where the ceremony would be. Yeah, that was the first wedding I was in. But yeah, like I always think of like all the things I saw for the first time, like the whole like getting ready the whole day, that it's really an operation.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not the problem with weddings. It's not for you and Josh. It's for everybody else. Like you guys are getting married, you're the focal point, but it really isn't for you. Like it's just mostly everybody wants to be there to be a part of it, and like have the opportunity for you guys to see you and be a part of your special day. How was the bachelorette party? Anybody get hurt?
Oh my gosh, it was the best weekend of my life. It was so much fun. I like couldn't recommend more doing something low key like that, because we just got to have like the best conversations and like create the best memories. We didn't have like an itinerary of a million things. Like we had some dinners out, we had some dinners we grilled in. We had perfect weather. It was so much fun.
So you just went to Cape Cod, that's it?
Yeah, we went out in Chatham one night and in Harwich one night. But
all right.
really, like nothing crazy. We mostly like spent time at the house, which was really like what made the memories.
Oh, wow. So you guys didn't go. See, that's good. I had two. One was in Omaha and one was here, but they both were completely relaxed and small. Like I went golfing. I went golfing in Omaha, and then I went to a golf tournament here in Boston, and that's basically all that I did. Josh's bachelor party was like really low key, right? It was like it was like Owen, our brother, and then one of his friends, right?
No, there's 11 of them.
Oh, it was 11. Oh, yeah. Owen told me it was only 2 of them. Oh, okay. So it wasn't that low key.
Owen went to bed at 8:30 in the morning with one of my friends. They stayed out till 8:30 in the morning. And when they went back to their respective hotel rooms, Colin was getting up for the morning and checking out of the hotel, and Owen was going to bed. Colin had to say, "Get in the car. We're going to mom and dad's."
So what exactly are we in for with those two? Like, is this going to be that? Is Owen expecting to be up till 8 o'clock in the morning on Friday night?
Yes. There's an after party, and then
I knew that.
The hotel offered to our mother that people can continue partying after the after party in the lobby of the hotel. I was like, don't tell Owen that.
Well, that's true, because it's 24 hours down there. It's a bar. So it's down there. You can just hang out and do whatever you need to do.
I will be going to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, but Owen would love to stay in the hotel lobby with whoever he can scrounge up.
So Owen is good. So he's marrying you, right?
Yes. So rehearsal dinners.
I don't know this story. I need this story. How did this come to be where our brother is marrying you?
Owen and I mean, I won't speak for him. I really disliked Owen as a child. We fought, like you remember, like, but it wasn't just like I really didn't like the kid.
Hold on, tell the audience. You guys share a birthday. So you both were born on July 12th. So like brother and sister already have a kind of acrimonious relationship. And then you guys have to share the same day. So you had the same birthday parties and like you were constantly on each other. So that makes why you guys had kind of an acrimonious relationship.
Yeah. And like I had such a special relationship with each one of my brothers. And for whatever reason, like Owen and I just like, we had nothing. Then I don't know what happened, but we turned into adults, and like he is my best friend in the world, which is crazy. And then he and Josh are like really close, and it felt right.
Did you have to do anything for the state of Maine or New Hampshire? Do you have to go through a class or anything?
It's just like an online, like you like click a couple buttons, pay $75.
Yeah, because that's when Vinny married me. That's all it was. It was just basically he had an online class in Massachusetts, and just like you're ordained. Like pay your fine and pay your fee, and then you're ordained.
I mean, if they let Owen do it, they let anybody do it.
Is he gonna be like how is Owen going to be? Are you giving him
so nervous? And
I was not expecting that. Are you going to give him like directive, or can he do what he wants?
I wrote his entire script.
Okay, directive.
And I left a paragraph that says, "This is where you may insert your personal anecdote under 30 seconds.
That's great. You know that's going longer. Okay, that takes us to the last question before I let you go. Do you have any issue, and you can say no, this is live on television, this is national TV, so you can say no, okay? Do you have any issue if I do a wedding, call it a betting sheet, but not really a betting sheet, but I allow people to bet based on things that will happen on the ceremony / reception?
I'm so down.
If I print up cards and hand it out to people in the pre, you're down with that. I have your permission to do that, and we can have a prize at the end that I can give somebody on Saturday when they all come to the house for the post-party celebration?
110%. We wanted to do that at cocktail hour, but you
Okay.
know, all the DIYs went to the wayside by the end of it. I was like, I'm not doing another thing.
Okay, I'll do that. I will be
you.
responsible for doing that and handing that out. And so you have
Oh,
no
that's
issues.
funny.
Do I have to run it by you first, or can I do what I want?
I mean, I trust you to not make them.
No, they'll be funny. It would be like that. Does Owen run over under 35 seconds
Yes.
of ad lib? It'll be like that. It'll be
No,
number of times our mother cries, you know, while she's on the altar. It'll be number of songs the DJ plays off of something else. Like I'll come up with just like quirky fun ones that are all going to be okay. We're good. The betting sheet, I'll come up with it with a good name like the Maggie and Josh prop bet wedding sheet, but it'll be something to do with that. Okay, listen.
Make sure I get one.
Oh, of course. You're in it as well. Obviously, I'll make sure you get one. I'll have Madeline bring it to you, so you'll be good on that. I'll see you Thursday for the rehearsal dinner. Okay. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. The brigade, everyone's wishing you the best, and so I hope things go really well. I think the weather's going to be good. I actually feel like where in Derry you're going to be, I think we're going to be okay. So I don't think we're getting rain. It's going to be warm, but who cares? We'll deal with it. Stay calm the next 48 hours. Just zen it up and just go and relax. All right.
Sounds good. You're the best. Thank you, Matt.
I love you, Maggie. We'll see you soon. That
love
is my little sister, Margaret Maggie, as we call her. She will be joining the ranks of the wedded coming up here on Friday. That's why there's no show coming up. So if you guys have ever done this, where you've done a wedding prop bet gambling sheet, send it to me. Send it to me. So we got to come up with creative, fun little things with that. I'm looking forward to creating that. I was hoping she was going to say yes. I figured she'd be down with letting me do that, but I wanted to ask her on. Actually, she had no idea I was going to ask her that. So I wanted to see what she would say to that. Would she say yes? All right, back to the place. Right in line. I like the Red Sox team total over 3.5. The Red Sox currently are the number one team hitting lefties in all of baseball. Okay, 270. They are also the number one team for RBIs against left-handed pitching. And they're seeing Sanchez tonight, who is tremendous. Okay, absolutely tremendous. Hasn't given up more than one earned run since the beginning of June. Only one game all year has he given up more than 3 earned runs in a start, and that was back against the Dodgers way back in April. Okay, this guy has been tremendous. This is the pitcher that everyone said in Philadelphia should have been an all-star over Jacob Misiorowski, who got there after 5 starts for the Brewers at the All-Star game. That ticked off the Phillies something fierce. So here we go with the Red Sox now. I think they score 2 runs or more off Sanchez. I do think he gets hit tonight in his first start after the All-Star game. And then I think we see an opportunity for the bullpen to get hit a bit for the Red Sox, who only scored 2 runs last night against the Phillies. But the Phillies used 4 bullpen arms and their high leverage guys also last night. So I think the Red Sox will see some softer pitching tonight from the Phillies. It's a launch pad of a ballpark. Red Sox team total over 3.5 for tonight. The Rangers just keep on rolling with the under. Okay. It pushed last night. It was 9, 7-2 final. Same thing tonight. We're going to roll right to it. 3-0-1 to the under through the first 4 games for the Rangers after the All-Star break. And at home, the Rangers are the number 1 under team in baseball. They are now 34-13-1 to the under this year at home in Major League Baseball. And overall, the under is hitting at about a 62% clip in games involving the Rangers. Yes, I know it's a little bit scary, but it's DeGrom who's going. Jin's going for the A's. As long as we don't see like 7 runs again be scored by the Rangers and it's a 7-1 final and we get beat, as long as the Rangers bats go quiet again like they have been. They scored 7 runs last night. Let's get 5 runs today. It's going to 5-0 win for the Rangers, and we'll go under. And then finally, I like the Astros against left-handed pitching. I mean, they got Framber Valdez going tonight for the Astros. And I think if you look at the way this team has hit, Erod going for Arizona, his ERA at home is bad. And Valdez, the money is pouring in on Arizona. And I know the lineup for the Astros hasn't been great and haven't been scoring a lot of runs. I'm really surprised. Like I'm really surprised at how the Astros have, been bet against here tonight. That seems to be a little strange to me, to be quite honest. Yes, Josh, that's pretty funny. So on Twitter, we just saw on Instagram, all of my family was watching on Instagram, which, by the way, we're streaming this week. We're testing out the show live on Instagram this week. So Josh is on Instagram chatting, so I appreciate that. Somehow I got to get the chat from Instagram to appear here on the screen for me, so I'm going to go back and forth. But yes, Josh, I will get you a sheet. Don't worry, we'll take care of that. We'll make sure that happens for you on that. But I like the Astros tonight against left-handed pitching. Give me the Astros to win here in a game on the road against the Diamondbacks. Again, I don't get the move here, how much money's coming in. Opened at -130. It's down to -115 at certain places. Give me the Houston Astros to get a W tonight with Bember Valdez going. Prop bet of the day. All right, I got two of them, actually. This is, I normally give you guys one. I'm going to give you two. Let's start with that Red Sox game and bet what I think, okay? Sanchez over 1.5 earned runs. Depending on what you're looking at, you may get plus money on this, depending on what book you're looking at. Again, the Red Sox, number one offense, number one bat against left-handed pitching this year with a 270 batting average and number one in RBIs driven in off left-handed pitching, and they hit lefties. Sanchez is good. He's good at home. I get all that, but I like the Red Sox to score 2 runs. It's 1 2-run home run in a ballpark that is conducive for home runs, and the Red Sox have bats that have been hot. So 1 2-run shot by a right-handed bat off of Sanchez, and this hits. So I like the Red Sox to score 2 earned runs off Sanchez. I like the Red Sox team total to go over 3.5, kind of betting the handicap, right? So taking a prop bet, betting the narrative. If Sanchez gives up 2, bullpen gives up 2, Red Sox score 4, we go over 3.5 team total, and then Sanchez over 1.5 earned runs as a starter tonight here. Second play, PCA. He's facing Rich Hill. I mean, he's facing, I don't know if I can say Dick Mountain, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's who he's facing. Okay. He's facing him. That's who he's facing. 45-year-old Dick Mountain is back in the bigs. Yeah. PCA. I don't care about the knee. I know he missed yesterday's game with a bum knee. I got it. No big deal. He's back in the lineup tonight. Pete Crow Armstrong over 1.5 bases here. Double and we're good. Triple home run. We're good. He's been outstanding. And I know it's lefty. You got to worry about, I'm good. Pete Crow Armstrong, over 1.5 bases. He had, before the injury, he had 4 against the Red Sox, 5 against the Red Sox, and 2 up against, in the Red Sox series, he went 2, 5, 4 total bases. So he was hot before he got the knee issue. And in the last game against the Red Sox on Sunday, got kind of a knee bruise. So I don't need him stealing bases, but give me Pete Crow Armstrong here. Go over 1.5 total bases for our BVB prop bet of the day. We hit yesterday. We're 1-0 in the week. Let's go ahead and hit that again here today. And you can pick either one that you want on that. Keller under 2.5 earned runs. Tigers haven't realized the All-Star break is over. Not a bad play. Keller at home historically has been a good play. JC from KC or JPC the fourth. Sorry, excuse me. That's not a bad play. It's not a bad play at all with the Pirates on that, to jump in on that. All right, time now for our Circa Sports Pro Football Story of the Day. This story is crazy, like crazy. More on it here in just 1 second. First and foremost, our friends at Circa Sports. We've told you guys about it. The Ultimate Contest Weekend happening on August 21st and 22nd, Thursday and Friday. The return of the live show for the Bostonian versus the book. We will be at Circa live for 2 hours. The show will expand back to our normal time of 2 hours, and that's when we're hoping to see our friend Mr. Dave Sherapan live in person for that. There, you guys can sign up for Circa Million, Circa Survivor. Million is 5 games against the spread. Both contests are $1,000 entry. Circa Survivor is 20 weeks, 20 picks to go 20-0, 18 weeks plus Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and Christmas. You can enter in Nevada, hire a proxy to let you play from anywhere. You just must be physically in Las Vegas or in Nevada to sign up at Circa, either in Reno or in Las Vegas. More information can be found at circasports.com. The owner for the Bengals needs to stop talking. Immediately, he needs to stop talking. This story, I can't understand why this story isn't a bigger story, because it feels like it should be a massive story in which the owner of the team talking to the media about why he doesn't want to go ahead and pay the contract demands that are currently being pushed by the rookie and the rookie representation, basically saying that, quote, if he's sitting in jail, I don't think I ought to be paying him. Excuse me? If he's sitting in jail? Mike Brown, time out for just 1 second, dude. Like, sidebar. Let's talk about the absolute lunatic nature of your mouth at the moment. Because if you thought that your number one pick in Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M could wind up in jail due to a domestic violence or other situation, you haven't done your due diligence. That's on you and your franchise. Do you have anyone on staff that can investigate someone's background? Do you have any ability to do research into where the kid is coming from? Because you can, and I'm not saying people saw Aaron Hernandez coming, all right? Nobody did. No one saw that. I'll give it to you, right? Wrong. Everyone saw it coming. The Patriots overlooked it. Look what he did in Florida. He threw a keg on a guy's head at a party. Like, if you did the Patriots just decided that they were going to take a risk with Aaron Hernandez because he was from New England and they thought they could keep him away from the problematic people that were with him in Connecticut. So that's why they drafted him. But they knew, like, if Stewart's a bad guy, if Stewart's a problematic player, don't draft him. Like, don't sign him. Don't go and bring him into your organization. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is a crazy quote. If he's sitting in jail, I don't think I ought to be paying him. Well, fine. But if you think he could be in jail, why did you draft him? Like, the tone deafness of this quote is crazy. Like, it's absolutely nuts. If I'm Stewart, I'm like, hold on a second, dude. Like, what are you doing? You're saying what about me? You think that I might wind up in jail? You think that that's a potential? Why did you draft me? You're just questioning my character publicly for everyone to hear without any real evidence to back up the point that you're making. That I'm a problem? Like, I could be a problem? And not just for this guy, not just for Stewart, but for every other draft pick the Bengals make. They're trying to set a precedent by saying, hey, if you get in trouble in the back end of your rookie deal, I don't want to pay you. I want to go ahead and rip it up. From our vantage point, it's a form of foolishness. It ought to it just ought to get done. Talking about sign the contract. Sign it. If there's no worries, if you have no worries about yourself, sign the contract. It's not just that easy, because the agents and the union will look at the contracts and the standard that's being set that could impact other players down the road that they don't want anyone to sign. Like, he's missing time already, and they're pointing, the Bengals are, at the agent, and it's the agent problem. According to the GM, Duke Tobin of the Bengals, he said, quote, I'm not going to blame Shamar. He's just listening to the advice he's paying for. I don't understand or believe or agree with the advice, but I'm not the one paying for it. If I felt we were treating him unfairly as it relates to all the other draft picks in this year's draft, then maybe it would be a different story, but we are not. I don't really understand where things are. This is a defense that is desperate. And this could lead this guy to go back to college, to become the first player to ever test it, to be drafted in the NFL, and then to test the legality of preventing a college player for going back to his college team, because they allow it in baseball. They don't allow it in football. But if you keep on saying things like this, Mike Brown, you're going to drive this kid back. And frankly, I hope he goes back. Now, you guys know where I am on the Bengals. I cannot stand Zach Taylor. I think Mike Brown's a horrific owner. I think the franchise is just an absolute joke. Okay. I'm out on the Bengals. I've been out on them for a long period of time. But this is just like, what are you doing? What are you trying to accomplish here, Mike Brown, by saying these things publicly? And man, Stewart only used 3 years of eligibility at Texas A&M. He's got a year left. Now he'd have to go to court to go and try, but he's at A&M with Mike Elko working out. Look, he's working out with A&M. He's not working out with the Bengals. He's working out with his college team. And NIL money, like, don't tell me the kid, if he gets to play college football, don't tell me the kid's going to be suffering. He's not going to be. They're going to pay him big money. It's a first-round draft pick. On top of the fact that he'd be a historic first-round draft pick. Nobody's ever done this. No one's ever done this. To get drafted in the NFL, get drafted in the first round, and say, yeah, you know what? I ain't playing for you guys. I'm going back to school. I'm going back to college where they want me. And no one's going to question my character and say things publicly to disparage who I am. I mean, poor Joe Cool. Yes. Look at, I don't know if you guys are watching much of that quarterback show, but on Netflix, I can't believe that Joe Burrow's in Cincinnati. I can't believe he's with the Bengals. Like, it's remarkable that is where that guy's going to play. It's unbelievable. Ish is asking, now what happens if the following year he gets drafted by the Bengals again? Wouldn't that be neat? It'd be a cool story. If he got drafted twice by the same team, first time didn't want him, second time take him again, it would be something the Bengals would do. That would be very Bengals-like to go ahead and do that. So we'll see. It's all about the conduct detrimental to football clause. What that is. They're fighting over the definition of conduct detrimental. They're essentially fighting what is. That's what they're fighting over. The definition of is. What is detrimental conduct to a football team? And according to the Bengals, it's if he gets arrested for domestic violence. Thus, they should be able to avoid the contract, which has never happened, by the way. In the NFL, those contracts, they're really hard to come by. It's the Bengals for you, though, man. It's the Bengals. They just cannot, even when they're desperate for defensive help and they're not going to pay Trey Hendrickson and they need help, they need Hendrickson and they need Stewart. They're fighting with both those players, publicly fighting with both those players. Not a good situation in Cincinnati. If I'm a Bengals fan, I'm just shaking my head. Watch the speakers. It is time for the Brigade Proxy Service Pro Football. I keep on saying pro, college football team of the day. Sorry, I apologize. We're doing college for the Brigade Proxy, even though we do picks for the pros. Now for college, though, the Westgate is doing a college contest. We'll talk more about that as we get closer to the contests, closer to the start of the college football season. But the Westgate is doing a $500 college football entry. We are doing a proxy service for that as well. So all the contests for the Westgate, all the contests for the Circa. The only hook is this. If you are coming to Vegas between now and August the 10th, we can't take care of you. If you are only coming during that period of time and you want to have us recommend you a proxy service, we have friends that we will recommend to you. As most of you know, Dave Sherapan is still in the hospital today. He's been there for over 2 weeks following surgery to remove a cancerous tumor. So he is still in the hospital. As you can see, I'm not in Vegas. I'm in New Hampshire. Why? You just saw my sister. I'm here for my sister's wedding. I'm here for a variety of things. I leave to go to Scotland on the 3rd of August, and then I come back to Vegas on the 10th. So from the 11th of August on, I got you. Okay. If you're coming in for Labor Day, you're coming in for the Ultimate Football Contest weekend with Circa, I got you. We'll sign you up. Brigade Proxy Service, we're still rolling. But from now until the 11th, there's no one there currently in Vegas to sign you up. But I'll take care of you coming up for the Brigade Proxy Service if you would like to have us be a part of it. If you want to make your appointment, 702-570-8255. Send a text message to us or go to our website, thebvbbshow.com. Go ahead and send an email from the website, and we will take care of you, get you set up for everything that's going to be happening. Our team of the day, Clemson. Win total is set at 9.5 for Clemson. They are, by most accounts, going to be a top 10 team. Clemson is expected to win the ACC. They are expected to dethrone Miami. A plus 110 price isn't bad on them to win the ACC. Win total is 9.5. It's over heavy juice, minus 215 for Clemson. Just go to 10. FanDuel, what are we doing here? To quote our friend Dave Sherapan, just move the damn number. The LSU game at the top of the schedule is absolutely huge for numerous reasons. If Cade Klubnik is going to win the Heisman, which he's one of the favorites to do so, the quarterback for the Clemson Tigers needs to beat a loaded LSU team out of the SEC. The game at Georgia Tech is sneaky. That's a sneaky game. That could bite them. You got to be careful with that game. LSU, Troy, Georgia Tech. What's the record for Clemson coming out of that? If you know that, you know what they're going to do for the season. They're going to beat Syracuse. Sorry, CBW. They're going to beat North Carolina. They're going to beat Boston College. They're going to beat SMU. They're going to beat Duke. Florida State, we'll see. Louisville on the road is tricky. Furman's a win, and then at South Carolina is an absolute monster. 10-2 with wins, with losses to LSU and South Carolina, very possible. Very, very possible. If you're looking for a win total for them to go 10-2, that's what the books are basically saying. They're going to go 10-2. If they go 11-1, not only are they in the playoffs, but they are also, Cade Klubnik also is in New York most likely for the Heisman Trophy. I would lean towards the over. For sure. But I think that LSU game is going to be so vitally important to what the season looks like for them at the very top of the schedule. What happens in that game? If they beat LSU, everything comes right into focus for Clemson. But this team has a rookie running back that everyone's raving about at the moment. They think this kid is going to come in and do big things for them. Gideon Davidson is his name, as well with Cade Klubnik, so who can really run. He's got wheels, so they like that tandem in the backfield. They have brought in a couple of transfers for the defense to help them out there. As we know, Clemson does not do transfers. Dabo is really anti-transfer portal and NIL. So see what happens with the guys that come in and how they play for Clemson. But this is a big year for the Clemson way, because Cade Klubnik was supposed to be the next great NFL quarterback to come out of Clemson. And so far, it hasn't been great, but the expectations are 100% there. They got to run the ball. And if they run the ball effectively, that opens up everything with their offense. And then they need their defense to step up. Florida State, big game. LSU, monster game. South Carolina, monster game. But that road trip to Louisville equally could be a very difficult spot, tricky spot for Clemson here in 2025. I can't wait to watch this Clemson Tigers team and, frankly, to see what Cade Klubnik can look like this year. Because if he has a big year, the ACC could have a team worth paying attention to from a college football playoff perspective. And look, we know what Clemson's done historically from a recruiting standpoint. We know how talented they have been and how well they have recruited. We know what Dabo is. Road trips at Georgia Tech, at North Carolina, at BC, at Louisville, and at South Carolina. That's not easy. LSU, Troy, Syracuse, SMU, Duke, and Furman. If you run the table and go undefeated in those games, you should feel pretty good about your road trips. I don't think anybody knows exactly what to expect at North Carolina this year, but BC, Georgia Tech, Louisville, games you would think that Clemson should win here this year and should be able to take care of business. So I would say over 9.5. I think 10's the number. I think 10-2. I just don't like laying minus 215 juice on anything. Like that's especially a future. Like, not a big fan of that. So I would say go ahead and find a book that has it at 10 and bet the over 10. And if you push, you push. So be it. You push. I know it's better to win a bet than push a bet, but I don't want to lay that 2.5, that minus 215 price. That's way too expensive. All right, we got more coming up in bonus time. If you guys are with us live, don't move. Thank you to my sister Maggie for stopping on by. If you guys missed any part of the program, go back and watch it on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book. Subscribe to our YouTube channel while you were there. Comment on the video. Tell someone about this show. We're back tomorrow for a Wednesday on Sports Grid TV and SiriusXM channel 159 for a Wednesday. But for the rest of you guys live, you get bonus time. All right, we go right into it. And this is, I'm actually kind of glad that we're doing this not on the Sports Grid show, because this is a little bit wonky for the news of the industry. All right, this thing is getting fucking weird. Okay? That's the only way to describe what's going on here. CFTC chair Brian Quintez, he's going to be confirmed. But the vote to confirm him was pushed off because Clyde Hyde-Smith's flight was delayed. The Democrats, led by Amy Klobuchar, all of them will not vote for Brian Quintez to be nominated, to be confirmed as the head of the CFTC. The chairman has said that this vote for their committee to confirm him will happen before the August recess. What makes this really weird, what makes this really odd, is that every Democrat is against it and every Republican is for it, even though there's some really weird things going on with Brian Quintez. Now, I know the administration wants this guy confirmed because Donald Trump Jr. is on the Kalshi board. But Brian Quintez is claiming that he is going to recuse himself from anything involving Kalshi. But he has said he will take a very hands-off approach for anything related to the sports prediction markets. It is flying in the face of anybody who feels like the states themselves did it the right way. And states' rights has been such a big component of Republican lore. I'm 48 years old. The whole states' rights thing has been a big darn deal for the Republicans in my lifetime. And we're just going to stomp all over states' rights when it comes to not one, not two, 3, 4, 5. How many of these companies are going to be offering sports prediction marketplaces and giving a 50-state solution, flying completely in the face of every state that legalized sports gambling? And no Republican has any issues with this. No Republican is going to open up and say, hold on a second, what are you going to do, Brian Quintez? You're just going to go and say, hey, have at it. Railbird just got bought out. We've seen multiple, and I mean multiple, companies be purchased here. And now there's a lot of, I don't say a rush, but Railbird got bought. Polymarket came in and bought a U.S. company to get a license. They bought QCEX. They bought them. No one knows who they are. They bought them for $112 million last week. Why? Because Polymarket wants their licenses. They want to be able to operate as a CFTC approved entity. So they bought it for 112. They applied for status in 2022. So now Polymarket, which used to not be legally allowed to operate in the United States, will now be operating in the United States. So you have Kalshi, you have Railbird, you've got Polymarket. This is getting crowded. Like, this is getting crowded here when it comes to this. Okay? So where are we going? And to sit there and say that it's completely a partisan line to vote to confirm this guy is wild to me. Like, no one's going to bring up, no one's got any problems with Brian Quintes. No one's got any issue? Really? We're just totally like, hey, we're cool with all this? I don't know, man. That seems very interesting to me. That seems. So watch that. When does the vote happen? Well, flight trouble. They need every single Republican. They need them all. They cannot have anyone miss the vote or vote against it. If it happens, Brian Quintes is not being confirmed as the head of the CFTC. He shouldn't be confirmed. If you ask me, he shouldn't be confirmed. The fact that he's going from the head of Kalshi to the head of CFTC to then go and regulate Kalshi is wild. Like, the inappropriateness is insane. That, like, nobody's bringing that up, going like, you know what? That's a little weird. Like, so he's going to be in charge of policing the very company he just ran? Huh? Okay. And why wouldn't he make decisions that may be advantageous? Always going to recuse himself from any Kalshi-related stuff. Okay, so why can't he make it so it's bad for Polymarket or bad for Railbird or somebody else who comes in to help Kalshi? Like, the whole thing reeks. The whole thing absolutely is just complete garbage, if you ask me. It's one of the strangest things that we have seen since we started this show 4 years ago. It's one of the weirdest things we have seen story-wise, involving sports gambling licenses, and the legality of sports marketplaces, of sports prediction marketplaces, and whether or not they're legal, whether or not it's gambling. Guess what? It's gambling. They'll claim, they even said it. I mean, Kalshi themselves, they've called it gambling, but it's a weird deal for sure. Final story before we get into our favorite thing about today. Where did that story go? Hold on. That's not it. That's it. Memphis offered the Big 12 $200 million. $200 million. But they're not going to get support. They're not going to be allowed to join. But it sets a crazy precedent for how much a school can pay to join a conference. $200 million. For Memphis, whose basketball program is pretty good, by the way. Football program's not horrible either. But the Big 12's like, you don't do much for us. You're not going to move the needle enough for us. So we're kind of on it. We don't need your $200 million. How much money would it cost to join the SEC? $100 million? $500 million? $1 billion? Like, if $200 million is not enough to join the Big 12, how much is it to join the Big 10? $500 million to join the Big 10? Like, we're selling this now. We're now selling slots to join conferences. This is now okay. This is now acceptable. Okay. That's interesting. $200 million. They're saying no to it. Thanks, but no thanks. Memphis won't join the Big 12, at least not yet. With $200 million. Oh my. Favorite thing about today. All right, favorite thing about today, my little sister, obviously. She first time joining us on BVB. That's on me. I can't believe my sister hasn't joined us. Madeline's made 1 million appearances, but Maggie had not. I don't know if Colin, like, we will do a post-wedding recap. I had planned on doing that with grabbing one of my brothers, either Colin or Owen. My brother Ben won't do it. Because Ben is from my mom's first marriage. So I'm 48. Ben just turned 46. But Ben's the farmer in Western Mass. My brother is not going to hop on a Zoom call, if you will, on his phone to join us. But my other brothers, one of my brothers is 30. My other brother is 26. Owen's 30. Colin's 32 or 33. But they're the gamblers, and they're the parlay experts, and they're the guys who will be all in on my building the sports card. So once again, if you've ever done a prop betting sheet for a wedding, send it to me. Go into my DMs at Sports Talk Matt on X, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and send it to me so I can take a look at what you used, and I can help price out what I'm going to use for us. And then I'm going to go to Staples or to FedEx or UPS store or whatever, and we're going to print these out on like real stiff with pencil slots and whatnot. So if you have one, if you have a template I can copy, please send it to me so I can make it good for the wedding coming up on Friday. I got the bride's blessing. She's letting me do it, so I'm going to do it coming up on Friday. It'll be a lot of fun. I'll post pictures on my Instagram and Twitter at Sports Talk Matt. We'll have some fun with this. So thank you for everything about today. Let's get my sister on the show for the first time. Guys, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. We are back tomorrow for a Wednesday. Thursday will be with D-Bro. Tomorrow will be some college football. We'll get a writer, get someone covering some college football. We'll do that coming up tomorrow on a Wednesday's Bostonian versus the Book.